Obviously, really looking forward to our first game here, whether it be exhibition or first regular season game. Delta State gives us an opportunity for our guys to go out and play. Although we do have an experienced team, we do have a lot of young guys that have never played college basketball before. So it'll be really good to see how they react to a game time experience. And I know our guys are getting tired of beating up on themselves. We do have one thing to announce. I.J. Reddy just recently had the same surgery that Craig Sword had. And I feel really good about it because of the way Craig Sword has reacted to the surgery. He's fully on scale right now to be back for our first regular season game. He was having the same discomfort that Chicken was having. We felt it was the best thing to do to go ahead and knock it out. So that'll put him back sometime in the 1st of December or mid-December, depending on how he reacts to each progression. So right now, it'll be a good experience for Maurice Dunlap because Maurice Dunlap gets thrown into the fray right away. Right now, we're using Fred Thomas as our backup point guard to Trevante Bloodman, so we really have a three-man rotation at that 1 and 2 spot of Maurice Dunlap, Fred Thomas, and Trevante Bloodman. But we fully expect for Chicken to be back for that first game, so we'll have 4 guys manning those 2 spots.
How does Chicken look? I mean, what is he able to do in practice now?
Right now, he's shooting. He's doing some things as far as like cutting, but everything is still non-contact. But the best thing with Chicken at this point in time is every progression that he has made, there's been no setbacks. Everything with the back is not like what you can do, it's how you feel the day after. And so every time that we progress him on, he's much better the day after, and so he's had no discomfort or no pain since that point in time.
With Fred moving to the point, what's the wing kind of looking like right now?
Well, our intentions are always to play more so Fred at the 2 than just the 3 this year because of our depth now. So we'll have Travis Daniels playing that 3 spot, and we'll also have Demetrius Houston playing that 3 spot as well. So it's nothing new for Fred. The only thing that's going to be new for him is playing that backup point guard spot, but we didn't want to put that pressure on Maurice Dunlap right away as far as like being a point guard. So Trevante Bloodman will obviously man most of the minutes at that point guard spot, but we'll have Fred there as a backup.
When Chicken comes back, will he get some there too?
Well, it depends on how he reacts. We want to do the best thing for Chicken at this point in time. So he's been in all the film sessions. He's been going through all the set plays, 5-on-0. But what we want to do is we don't want to throw him out there and have him worrying about too many positions at one time. So what we'll do is we'll have him starting off at that 2 guard spot and then matriculate him to playing some point guard as he picks up and feels comfortable with it.
What are you trying to get out of the first exhibition? Is there going to be a lot of veterans, or are you going to try to get those young guys in most of the playing time?
Well, it all depends on the flow of the basketball game. The most important thing what you're trying to do is trying to win. So that'll dictate how we end up playing some of our minutes there. But I would like to get some of those younger, inexperienced guys out there and get their feet wet right away. So if the veterans do their job, then it allows the newcomers to do that. So when it's all said and done, the veterans have to go out and play well there so we can we feel comfortable putting those younger guys out there.
I'm not worried, but especially being an exhibition game, but kind of controlling Travis and Oliver and Falou and them and Demetrius. I get too excited just because, especially Falou and Travis been waiting this long to play.
Yeah, it's a unique situation because those guys have been in our program with Travis being a semester and Falou for a whole year, that they don't go out there with high anxiety. You want them to just go out there and play. Kind of the good thing about that, though, Paul, is Travis is a guy that's naturally going to try to facilitate more so than take over a basketball game. So he kind of wants to please more so he'll penetrate and try to make some plays, and he'll probably make too many passes and pass up too many shots more so than overdoing it. Falou Endo is a guy that's going to get the ball on the post, so you don't have to worry about that because he's going to get post touches, so that kind of dictates that. Demetrius Houston is a guy that you worry about a little bit, trying to go out and make the spectacular play because he's such an elite athlete. He's going to try to do some things at the rim right away instead of letting the game come to him. But those are things you talk to your guys about, and the assistants have been talking to him about it. But I really think that Falou and Oliver and Travis have a really good demeanor. Demetrius Houston is an aggressive kid by nature, so you worry about that a little bit with him, but those other three guys I have zero concern with.
What have you seen from Maurice since practice has started?
Well, the thing I've seen from Maurice is just like him picking up on the game of basketball. He is a kid that really enjoys basketball, and I know that's weird to say because a lot of guys, I think, in college basketball are not playing for the right reasons, but he truly does love playing basketball. So he spent a lot of time extra on his own coming up and seeing film and meeting with the assistant coaches and trying to pick up on things. So you see him gradually, the wheels stop turning in his head, and now he's just out there playing, and that's what we wanted. We don't want him out there thinking as much as far as like making mistakes or did I do this right. Just want him out there playing because we need him to be comfortable because we're going to need him to make some shots.
Will Chicken be out playing the exhibition at all?
No.
Okay.
No, he would definitely not be playing an exhibition game. There's a great case that he could play in a regular season game, but to be honest with you, Michael, it'd be more my call than the trainer. I think the trainers are going to clear him to play on the regular season game, but I'll probably err on the side of caution and not have him play in that first regular season game and maybe slide him into the second regular season game and hopefully have him full board by the third regular season game.
Without Chicken and IJ, how does that point guard role kind of develop going forward, I guess, in the exhibition?
Well, in the exhibition game, it's just going to be Trevante, and it's not like Trevante doesn't have any experience doing it. With our lack of depth in the past couple of years, Trevante would go out and play 35 minutes at the point guard spot. So I'm really not as concerned about that. And I think Fred is more than capable of serving as a backup point guard in those 5 to 10 minutes that Trevante is not playing. And as the game goes on, I think this is something maybe Maurice Dunlap can do as well, too. So we've got some options there, so I don't think it's a huge concern for us.
You talk about Trevante playing point. I guess, coming in, he really wasn't expected to be one of the bigger contributors, I guess, but injuries and whatnot, he's kind of filled in that role. As a senior, do you think he's really capable of really taking that position down if things don't work out with IJ or Craig?
Well, I didn't have any expectations of him not playing or playing most of the minutes because we were such a new team that it was a situation where guys come in and just figure out what their role is. So I think when you recruit a guy, you don't recruit a guy and say, well, he's going to play 30 minutes and this guy's going to play 10 minutes. I think it's always hard in this recruiting game because you have 13 scholarship players. So there's some guys you recruit and they end up playing 35 minutes a game, and there's some guys you recruit and they end up playing 0 minutes a game. But no coach goes out, well, I'm going to recruit him to be a sub that never plays. You just don't think that way. So I think Trevante is more than capable of filling that role. He really has a better understanding of what I want from the basketball standpoint now. And he's matured. He's a senior, so he should be a guy that should be able to fulfill those duties.
I know Craig will be back, and I know IJ Ready will be back in mid-December, but how have the injuries, particularly in the backcourt, kind of hampered your preparation for the season?
Well, it's just those guys not getting reps. And that's what you always concern yourself with is the fact that, hey, practice is there for a reason. And so what you don't want to do is the first time those guys go out there, just throw them out there in a game-type situation. You would like to have them in some practice reps, getting familiar with the bodies around them. I think you can walk through things 5-on-0 and you can, prepare for things 5-on-0, but being able to read the defense and being able to adapt, going fast, I think that's the hardest thing to do, to get guys to make decisions going fast. And so not being able to practice takes away from those decision-making abilities.
With the depth and the numbers that you have this year, how closely is this team going to resemble and reflect the way that you want to play, the style of play basketball?
Well, we're going to use 94 feet of the court, and that's been something I've been wanting to do in the past, but with the lack of depth, it just didn't make sense. But now with our size and length and more importantly, our quickness, we're going to use that 94 feet. But what you got to be careful about is you don't want to create offense for the other team. And so we want to make sure that we're using that 94 feet, but we don't want to create opportunities for the other team. So we'll be smart about it. But I think it would really be to our benefit to make sure that we get out and do some pressure.
When we were talking to some of the upperclassmen like Trevante and Gavin a couple weeks ago, Media Day, it almost felt, I got the sense that they feel confident now that they actually have some bodies behind them that they can lean on. I know Logan sort of touched on that, but just how big of a relief it is to have bodies, have guys on your team now that you can really depend on.
Well, I think from Tremonte's standpoint, he feels good about having those bodies behind him so he can gamble and steal more. And so hopefully that's not what he's going to end up doing. Like, he wants to be able to make mistakes out there by gambling, and then for Lou be able to come over and block the other person's shot because he did something wrong on a defensive mistake. So that's why he feels good about it. I think from a standpoint, just the fact that now they know they can go into a game time situation and be able to count on guys to come off the bench that's realistic. I think, you know, we're playing Kentucky and we get in foul trouble. Now you have a 6'3" Tyson Cunningham, who's a former walk-on, guard Julius Randle, who's a lottery pick. So now if that situation comes up again, now instead of you having Tyson Cunningham at 6'3" playing the 4 spot, you got Oliver Black coming in at 6'9" or 6'8" to play that. If something happens with him, you got Travis Daniels who can play the 3 spot at 6'8". So you've just got something there that you know that if somebody goes down or somebody gets in foul trouble, you've got a legitimate, like, front court person to come in and play that position.